back. Probably didn't think it was gonna come back, did you? Huh? You thought I was gonna just walk off into the sunset? Huh? You thought I was just gonna run away and never return? Guess what? That's what we're talking about today. If you caught that reference, then you're already 12 steps ahead of the game. Lion King. Now, and I'm not talking about no damn live action Lion King. That shit is abysmal and it's an abomination. But it will be mentioned today because it does include information that we're gonna have to dissect and decipher. So, before we get past that, y'all already know what to do. You don't even have to watch the video to like it. Like, come on, you already know this shit about to be fire. And if you don't like, comment, subscribe, hype, all the things in between, I'm gonna send a fucking warthog through your front fucking door to make sure that you get the point that I'm not. Anywho, let's get to it. Let me give you a little rundown, Jim, of Lion King, the greatest Walt Disney feature film ever created. Yes, that's on top of Beauty and the Beast, on top of Little Mermaid, if you would crazy enough put that in there, and crazy enough, even better than Mulan, which is the second best Disney movie of all time. Feature film, if we're gonna put it on that level. So let's go ahead and break it down for you. If you've never seen Lion King, what rock have you been what rock have you been living under?
Welcome to our world. Wide world.
Because it follows young Simba, who was told in his younger days that by his father, the king, that this entire world, at least what we see, as far as the light can touch, this shit is ours. Not no damn antelope, not no damn zebra. This is our shit. So, one day, once you get of age, or once I'm up out of here, you're gonna take over as king. And crazy enough, the king, his father, is murdered by his uncle, who wants to usurp him as the king, and ultimately does, as he sends Simba away, actually trying to kill him, but the killing effect doesn't work as planned, as he sends bumbling idiots to do the job of a king, but that's on for later. So he goes out to the wilderness. Things are great out there because he can let go of his past, but things and shadows of his past come back and tell him that the land that he once knew and the land that he was supposed to take over is now barren and ass fucked because he didn't take his place as king. That's how they kind of look at it technically. And he is brought back and finally faces his fears, finally faces his past, and is able to take the kingdom back. And there you go, Hamlet. So that's the story of Lion King, and if you don't know, the amazing cast on there, you got Matty Broderick, James Earl, Jeremy Irons, Whoopi, Cheech. Come on, dog. This is the #1 movie for a reason. So, the topic of today, guys, is gonna be what the fuck pride does to us all. Well, not us all in this case. It's technically gonna be what it did to a certain someone. And if you got the reference, and I just fucking said what I was talking about, then you know what we're talking about today. Yes. So let's get to the topic of what the fuck I'm talking about today. Scar. And we're gonna see exactly where pride, crazy enough because it's called Pride Rock, but pride literally led to his downfall, where it didn't have to, because he could have literally turned it around and made himself a king if he didn't let pride and ego overtake him. So let's go into it. Now, in the movie, we're gonna start. We'll just go linear to what happened in the movie. So skipping past a couple of parts, and this is that and the other. Scar would devy off the objective of killing Simba, which would be the king when Mufasa died. He devied that off onto his minions. I was gonna say friends, but at the end, you know, they're not his friends.
Oh, my friend.
Friends? I thought he said we were the enemy.
But his minions, he devied off literally the biggest thing of his career that he was gonna do. Well, I guess second biggest thing, because he killed Mufasa himself. But the second biggest thing that he could have did was kill Simba. Like, these are the steps that you had to do to become the king, right? This motherfucker literally sat up there and devied it off to the hyenas, who he knew were incompetent, right? He knew they were incompetent because the first time he sent them to kill Simba and Nala. So in this assassination attempt to the prince, this dude devied it off to them and found out then and there that they could not handle the objective of what was going on. They would follow up by saying, oh, it wasn't like we was alone. Mufasa was there. But you have to add on this fact also. In this scene, do you think Scar was actually ready to carry out his plan, or was he just thinking about it? Now, he did send, you know, the hyenas to kill the cubs, but that's not completely usurping the kingdom. You know what I mean? That's just taking care of the spot after. Now, who knows how long it would have took him to finally come up with the plan to kill Mufasa that way. This dude literally was sitting there, unless he has teleporting powers, he was literally sitting there listening to the hyenas talk shit about lions. And man, are they ugly. Yeah, so he was sitting back, unless he just got teleporting powers, which he doesn't. He was sitting back and he heard every single word. Then, on top of that, when he came out and appeared himself to them, they sat up there and said, oh, Scar, it's just you. We thought it was somebody important. What? We thought it was somebody important? And then followed that up by saying, yeah, like Mufasa. Then went into literally making fun of Scar in front of his fucking face. So at the end, when Scar says, it's the hyenas who are the real enemy, it was their fault, their idea. Was he lying? But he sat up there and let them try again in something so important to his damn rule or to his damn plan, and he devied it off to these idiots, basically. Now, he had the wherewithal when he talked to them, when he gave them that little zebra leg, and he told them straight up, I sent y'all to kill these motherfuckers and you couldn't even do that. Well, it wasn't like they was alone, Scar. Yeah, what were we supposed to do? Kill Mufasa? Precisely, bitch. Like, well, obviously y'all don't have the strength to do that shit. Even with Scar, I don't think them 3+ Scar is taking down Mufasa. I mean, I still think, you know, it's a good fight, but you know, it might be a little scene like, no, I won't back down. You know, he getting his ass beat. But in this case, Mufasa might walk out alive type shit. But in the case of what actually happened, you devied that off to these niggas. And they didn't kill, they literally didn't kill the target.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
But they came back and told you that they did, and this, that, and the other. You never knew. You know, they just told Simba, and if you come back, we'll kill ya! Okay. Crazy enough, he came back, and what happened, guys? Did y'all kill him? Did y'all get him up out of here? No? Not even close? Okay, well. I should kick your ass then. I should kick your fucking ass. But then you go on, Simba grows up in the outskirts, the good outskirts, I guess. Maybe that's Eastern or something like that. And the other outskirts from Lion King 2 are Southern or something like that. It's always worse. South. Inside of something. Because I'm from the South. So I rescind that. Take that back. Take all that shit back.
Get fucked, pile of shit!
But then Simba comes back, literally after growing up out there, and proceeds to kick all of the hyenas and Scar's ass. Now, the fact that I brought up Lion King 2 should tell you that I know a little something about Lion King, right? Lion King 2 introduced the outskirts lions, if you will. The outskirts lions, I guess you could say banished lions, but when would they have been banished to like the outskirts? Because they didn't live in on Pride Rock. So where else would they be living inside of the Pride lands? That, that's a little iffy. But, anywho, where the fuck were they in the final battle? Huh? And see, when Simba literally sat up there and told you, Scar, run away, Scar, and never return. Ah, yes, as you wish, Your Majesty. Why didn't you just dip? That pride and ego. And I'm here to tell you, congregation, ladies and gentlemen, that do not let your ego be the fall of you. This is not supposed to be a lecture or anything like that, or a sermon, but I'm here to tell you that don't ever let that shit be the fall of you. You know what I mean? Because it's always a smarter way to come back and get your whatever you may need to get by just smarts, which Scar prided himself on, that he was a smart guy and not a brawn guy. He said it in the beginning when he was talking to Mufasa. When it comes to brute strength, I'm on the shallow end of the gene pool. He bragged about him being smart, but that was the dumbest decision, probably second dumbest decision he ever made. I think the first one, he should have killed Simba himself. Cause I don't know why he didn't. I mean, he had minions to divvy it off to them, but why would he not take care of that himself? That is such a big, huge addendum that you just let slide by the wayside to motherfuckers that you knew were incompetent. I just don't get it, Scar. But, dude, you had all the time in the world to leave, reassemble the hyenas, and the lions from Lion King fucking 2. You could have got all of those lions, lionesses, whatever you want to call it, and then with the hyenas, went back to Pride Rock, and y'all would have wiped them motherfuckers clean. There is no way they would have been able to beat y'all. There is no way they would have been able to beat y'all. And I'll stand by that. With a whole lion pride, even though they were a little scrawny, we saw what they did in Lion King 2 when they fought. So, I just don't understand why in the hell he didn't just retreat for the time being. Well, I know why, because of that fucking pride. But why don't you just retreat, get your crew, your entire crew, assimilate with them, and then go back to Pride Rock and we rocking these dudes. We rocking them. Like, there's no backlash, there's no, and we don't even have to kill all the lionesses because we need to continue on with the pride. So all the females ain't gonna die in this instance unless y'all legit want to, die on this rock, no pun intended, with Simba, like on the Simba rock. And he's been gone for how long? And now just because Mufasa was a great king, we're gonna assume that Simba's gonna be that too? Fuck out of here. No. Y'all idiots could have legit See, I hate Scar for that. I don't hate Scar. I love Scar, but come on, bro. You could have won. You could have won. You had all the abilities and the size to win, as in crew. You brought them back plus the hyenas. All you got to do is kill Timon, Pumbaa, Rafiki. I was about to say Zazu, but Zazu's an asset. You can keep Zazu. All the rest of them, you can kill them. Get them up out of here, and then obviously kill Simba. And now they don't have a leader, and once again, you're leading again, which is not something that they're not used to. They've been doing this for however long it took Simba to grow up. I don't know how long lions take to grow up. It's not human years, so however long he was gone, they could have did it in. I just don't understand what he was thinking, man. He could have literally regrouped and got back to it and took them all out, literally, and had the Pride Rock to lead on his own fruition and by himself, bringing in his old pride and everything like that. And I think at that point, his children would have had to been born. Yeah, they would have had to be. So Vatani, which is Nala's child, Nuka, which is Sarabi's child, and then Kovu, which is Scar's child. Now, a lot of people are about to stand up and be like, oh, wait a minute. No. In 2, they said, Zera said that Kovu wasn't Scar's child. If Kovu wasn't Scar's child, then whose child was it? Mufasa's? Simba's? What male did you sleep with that you got that child? Let's be honest. Because Nuka was disabled, let's say that, you can't rock the boat and tell this dude, especially with the way that you're treating Kovu, you can't sit up here and tell this dude, oh, well, Kovu has favoritism because that's Scar's child and that was my lover. You can't. If anybody has children or grew up in a household with multiple siblings, you know that your mom and dad or whatever you had in the house definitely has favorites. Even though they might try to hide it, there's definitely favorites in between there. So to avoid getting them into a family squabble, she just said that none of them are Scar's children, which obviously is not true. Yeah, that is just not true. Nuka is Scar and Sarabi's child. Maybe because Sarabi was up there in age, but as we know from Mufasa, the movie Mufasa, Scar always wanted Sarabi. He always wanted Sarabi, and Mufasa stole her from him. So when he finally got that opportunity to get her into his grasp, he did that, and he had babies, and that's why he's the oldest one. He did that shit immediately. I'm pretty sure as soon as he took over, he did that shit immediately, right? So then you have the one with Zera and Scar's child, which would have been Kovu. He had a child with Nala, and these are crazy because he definitely R-word Nala, like for sure. He definitely yeah, because there's no way she was going for that. But that's definitely her child. Vatani, it is. And then on top of that, just the fact that they were on the outskirts. See, I'm thinking that they lived in the outskirts from the jump, and Scar just went out there. I don't know. I don't know how that stands, like where they came from or what the case is with that. Or, if they're just malnourished because the Pride Lands ran out of resources or whatever the case is, which a lot of people try to blame Scar for that. That's not Scar's fault. I think that's the land's fault. I think the land was due for that resurgence or whatever you want to call it, and that's what happened with that. So I'm thinking that Scar virtually
just got the raw end of the stick.
But in the Lion Guard, the TV show, I'm pretty sure they go over that, but I have not gone over that myself yet. But there's so much more that I have to add on with Lion King lore. Y'all want to stick with me for it? I got way more than this. So, yeah, we can keep it going with the Lion King shit. But as for right now,
Anywho, Mufasa dying did not have nothing to do with no damn the land going like that. It could, because there are clearly magical elements to this land as Mufasa appears in the sky, in the clouds, and in the water, but that was kind of like in Rafigi's realm. So I don't know, but yeah, speaking of him, you gotta kill the shaman. Whether we have to find a new one or whatever the case may be, we gotta get him out of here. We gotta get him out of here. So kill the monkey. Well, baboon. Baboons aren't monkeys; they're apes, right? If it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. Even if it has a monkey kind of shape, if it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. If it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. It's an ape. So he doesn't have a tail, right? Baboons don't have tails, right? Because I'm thinking of their ass right now. They're fat, juicy. Why did I do that? I do not know. I do not condone bestiality. No, I do not. I'm just saying baboons in general. I wasn't saying fuck. Now it's on video. That's not what I meant, guys. Fuck! Anywho, but like I was saying, I think he completely screwed himself. He screwed the pooch with that. No pun intended. And he could have got off way better and literally led the kingdom with no opposition for years to come until he let Kovu rule. I would imagine he would let his son rule at some point, right?
crazy enough, in the Lion Guard, we see that Scar got his scar from a snake, but it differs in the book. So,
and I'll get into that because I have some theories and some lore for Lion King that you just have to put together being a smart guy. Just like what I put together with these kids. I don't think anybody's ever said that. And I'm pretty sure everybody went along with what Zira said, that this is not Scar's child and da-da-da-da-da. But that doesn't make sense. Because whose child is it then? Point me out some other lions that are in the Pride Lands or even on the outskirts. Because where was that guy when we are introducing them into? What? Scar killed him? Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm not going for that. I mean, you could come up with something like that and make your own lore, but I gotta go off of what I know about lions, which I am an animal fanatic. That's another part of my fandom. And what I know about Lion King, which is also in my fandom. So, but there's other people who are in it too. Me personally, I rank everything on a level scale from 1 to 7 when it comes to damn near everything. So I'm like a level 6, 7, maybe 5, 6, 7 around there when it comes to knowing lore of Lion King. And some people say head canon and everything. No, it's just deductive reasoning and estimating. Estimation. Esmeralda. S.A. Anyhow, I don't know what I was doing there. But, yes, I'm gonna say that Scar literally had the opportunity to win this war. And because of his pride, he let that fall by the wayside. And in everyone else's eyes, is eyes right with side? If you say it the right way. but I just messed up my flow. So yeah, I think that he could have got off with a win and the kingdom and the crown, but he was too cocky. Well, not cocky, he was too prideful. It was kind of the same thing, but it was pride, or ego, or whatever you want to call it. He just didn't want to be told that after ruling for however long that was. So, you know, some motherfucker come out of nowhere when you've been ruling and then just, oh, well, I'm supposed to be that. And if you don't get out of here before we kill you like we did your father, which he ended up telling him while he was on the ledge, and somehow Simba got the upper body strength to literally jump up with his upper body with no footing at all. I'm not with that. I don't believe that's possible for no fucking lion to do. So Simba, you can kiss my whole ass. But until our next video, like, comment, subscribe, share, hype, type, write, and renew. Don't know what that means, but adios. Bye!